Hi, this is the video review for Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Mudflap, Skid's twin brother. There you see him in his packaging. Looks very nice. Nice little toy. See him a little better there. I'm just going to show you off to him after I give you the bio. Young but eager, Mudflap has wanted to be a full-fledged warrior under the command of Optimus Prime. For as long as he can remember, he and his twin brother Autobot Skids traveled for years to Earth, just in hopes of joining up with their idols. Being on Earth with Optimus Prime and the other heroes of the Great War is a dream come true. Okay, so here's Mudflap in his vehicle mode, and it's a really nice little deluxe size. Underside, he does transform a little bit like Skids, a little bit different, but very similar in the way they transform, and they're a little bit tough to get back to vehicle mode. But he rolls pretty good. It's called the Chevy Trax concept mode. As you know, his brother Skids is the Chevy Beat, so he's the Chevy Trax. And it comes with this missile, and this is in the package. And at first I didn't know where to put it. I thought I didn't, know if it could store, and it actually does. There's a little port right here. Just it's a matter of finding which loop it goes through. So it can store underneath, and you have like a little bit of an exhaust pipe coming out there. So it can store in his alt mode, which is big because you always want the weapons to store in alt mode if possible with the Transformers, so at least I do. So that's him in his that mode. Now here he is with Skids. Almost the same exact size. Give you a better look at that. Pretty much the same size. I mean, Skids looks a tad longer, but not by much. I mean, pretty close. So there you have the Autobot twin brothers, Mudflap and Skids. And I can't wait to see these guys on the big screen. I know the movie's already been shown in Japan and some places. For me right now, it's another couple of weeks till I get to go see it on the 24th, and can't wait. Can't wait to see these guys in action. So let's get on to the transformation of Mudflap. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take his missile out. Just save that for later. Now, what you want to do is very similar to Skids. You want to bring down his front legs. His legs come out of a similar place, and they fold up very much like Skids. They fold in. So just kind of pull them down. And the feet flip down, but here's the important part. You got to rotate this piece here, keeping his legs straight. Rotate this piece all the way to the back, and then the foot comes down and turns around, and you gotta get that turned all the way over for it to work. Okay, and then you just come and do the same thing on the other side. Take this, get his leg straight, take this, spin it all the way around, unfold the leg. Okay, and then the next step is I'm going to take his doors, undo his doors, they're kind of pegged in there, and the alt mode is just pretty good. So I'm going to do the doors and get them down. You see a lot of jumbled stuff here. I'm going to go ahead and pop up his hood and get that opened up. Okay, so while that's like that, I'm going to take the back of him. His arms, they're curled up inside like Skids, but they don't have to fold up the same way. They're curled up inside like that, but they fold outwards. And the wheel kind of pivots back to the inside. And there's his punching hand like Skids has, only it's on the opposite side for him. And we're just going to leave those out of the way for now. Those are his arms. Now, for the roof, it's very similar to, you want to tuck in the hood right there, and then press this in. Okay, now before we get too far, you might want to leave that there. Before we get too far, I'm going to want to be able to rotate him. So grab his whole, the head, the doors, the legs, everything, and do that 180 Sorry, 360 rotation of the waist. Yeah, 180, that was right. I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyways, then you want to get your legs down. Flip his head up. Okay. Door's kind of up out of the way for the moment. Okay, so then now this whole thing is going to push. You're going to have to get the doors kind of up by his head just for now to get this part done. We'll have to move him up over here eventually. Trying to get his head to sit flat. Okay, I just pushed down his backpack. And this backpack doesn't go all the way, but when you push that, it goes up a little bit. That right there goes up a little bit. He still has a big backpack in robot mode, but it's not too bad. So then you get his feet down, get his arms out, kind of unfold everything. Okay. Now, this little piece right here, the back of his neck, very much like Skid's, is also going to pop into place. That's going to pop into place back there, right below where the missile storage is. So you can see that. It's going to peg into there. So you want to have his doors up. And then these little panels on his chest come out. Let's see if we can get that in there. It's a little tricky sometimes. It takes a minute to kind of fiddle with it, but once you have it, you'll feel it click in. You'll hear that. Now these doors are kind of up to your imagination. There's, it kind of shows them just like that. You can move them around a little bit. I think it looks fine the way it calls for, so I'm going to leave it with that. And then this backpack, I know it looks like his backpack is down too far, but that's as far as it goes. So it does give you room to push it back a little bit instead of down. Just push it back a little bit. That's what the instructions show. Okay. And then it's just a matter of lining him up. Get his head to lock in there. These things come out to the sides. Turn his head. Adjust him a little bit. And then after a little bit of fiddling around, you have him in his robot mode. Now you can see Skids has this one as a big punching hand. He doesn't have a punching hand. That's his missile's going to go in his hand. I'll show you that in a second. But that's him in his robot mode. And give you a close-up of that head. That's the head shot. Maybe you see a little better. So it's kind of like Mudflap. You can tell they're twins. And yeah, so he looks pretty cool in that mode. I'll show you the arm missile now. It's basically very simple. Now this missile looks kind of hidden on his arm. What you do is you push down the back of this, and it kind of like automorphs it. You can actually push it on his hand as well. You can either push here or push there. So I find to be that when it's closed like that, pushing on his hand just pops it right up nice and easy. And then you slide that baby in there. Now he's got a missile he can fire, and I just caught it for a catch. So here again, this hand pops it up. The instructions say to push the lever, but I find the hand really works a lot better. Now as far as the Mech Alive gimmick on this guy, pretty much the same as Skid's. I'm going to take that missile out so it doesn't shoot me. You push in his chest, and he kind of emotes. These move, his headlights move, his head bounces up and down like he's talking, or rapping, or beatboxing, whatever he's doing with MC Paddington. But yeah, that's his robot mode. Looks pretty cool. Okay, so there you go, Mudflap in his robot mode. And I'm going to bring his twin brother Skids over so you can see a little size comparison. He's got his big arm there. So they both got their big hands. I really like these guys. I know a lot of people don't like the heads or whatever, but they're very ingenuitive toys. Complex transformations, but not too bad. Just really pay attention when you transform them from car mode to alt mode. Kind of remember what you're doing, that you got to spin them around, get everything out of the way, and make sure you fully push the legs and everything back together when you go to put them back into vehicle mode. It's a bit tricky. I'm not going to do a video on that. There is another guy on YouTube. Some people do you know, videos from robot back to vehicle. I'd recommend that if you're having any trouble, but I really haven't had any trouble. I fiddled around with it, watched a review. That might help you. I could definitely say these guys are worth the money. I mean, for deluxe toys, $10, $12 right now. I got him for $7.99 at Toys R Us sale. I don't know how long that's good for, but you can even get them at HTS. They're probably going to be available a lot of places.